Man, oh man, welcome back everybody. Good to have you here tonight talking about what today's earlier video was all about. Short-barreled rifles, AR pistols, anything that's what we're considering short barrel is the legal definition, anything less than 16 inches. All right. And I've gone through and I read quite a bit of the comments too on that video, and you guys all had great things to say and to mention. And I appreciate every last one of you guys tuning in. And of course, if you haven't seen today's upload on YouTube, Rumble, Patreon, you guys been seeing it, go check it out. All right. So let's hop into it really quick because I want to make something abundantly clear. Short barrel rifles are overrated. I think that most of them don't serve a purpose. And quite frankly, if you are under the mindset that short barreled anything is superior for maneuverability, or I guess wielding within close quarters, you're essentially wrong. And you should understand that velocity is what makes effective the 5.56 cartridge. And if you disagree with this statement, you just don't have an understanding of ballistics. You don't have an understanding of, well, much of anything, it sounds like. So with that being said, happy April Fools. Obviously, my very dry attempt at making an April Fool's joke probably didn't land with most of you because I just wasn't that funny. But happy April 1st. If you guys didn't catch the launch of Artemis 2, where were you? I think that was history in the making. Super cool. But I will say this. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of short-barreled rifles. In fact, everything you see behind me on the wall is technically a short-barreled something or other. Up here, that's a Sig Rattler LT pistol. We've got a short-barreled shotgun, short-barreled rifle, Mark 18, the Signature Series, which, by the way, yeah, you need to watch today's video. All right, just gonna throw that out there. We've got, which way should I go? Go this way. We've got another Mark 18, the OG Mark 18. Again, both of these 10.3-inch barrels. M4A1 with the 14.5-inch pinned and weld. And then up top, FAL, DS Arms. Yep, that guy up there, Rhodesian, because that's awesome. 14.5-inch pinned and weld. And is it? Yeah, it's 14.5-inch. And then the PCC from Daniel Defense 2, which I'm a huge fan of. I really like that little pistol caliber carbine. So yeah, let's go ahead and light it up in the chat here. Comment section if you're watching this post live. Short barrels. I think I saw Monadnock Firearms comment. It's not the size of the barrel that matters. It's how it's used. And it took a lot when I was filming that video not to make any jokes. I actually made a point to not make any jokes about barrel length because I figured it would just be way too just low-hanging fruit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, yeah, that's all there is to it. So but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all for being here tonight. I am looking to kind of commingle some of the live streams with the videos that are being released. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. All right. And if you haven't checked out the Phantom promo, you definitely should. All right. Phantom, you should. And from here, let's go ahead and hop right into the chat. So double Z Ranch says short barrels are so cool. He doesn't even use a barrel anymore. I'll go ahead and take that as a April Fool's, right? Rent Collector, good to see you, man. Oh, that look on your face when seeing a short barrel. It's the first time I've seen that look, for the record. Oh man, this is gonna be good. Tanner, thanks for being in the chat, bro. Good to see you. No, it's not an April Fool's prank. There is a live stream. We are here, we are live, and we are kicking it. All right. Let's see. And yeah, the continuation of the full day of April Fool's. Everything I saw today, I even saw it at some point I considered whether today's Artemis 2 launch was somehow an April Fool's joke. I mean, the fact that I was on social today and I didn't see anybody making jokes about how, oh, we're headed back to the moon, April Fools, just like the first time around, right? Like, I mean, I wouldn't see any of these jokes. I thought, man, somebody out there funnier and smarter than me would come up with some of these things, but oh no, what are you gonna do? All right. So anyway, let's see here. Crazy K had this thought. A long barrel can do it all, but a short barrel can't. I get the long barrels are not good at CQB, so maybe that's the only place it doesn't shine. So let's think about this really quick. Let's talk about it. And actually, I'm going to pull up the YouTube video because I want to read some of the comments there too, because those were actually pretty good, and you guys seem to like this topic. So appreciate you all for viewing, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. If you're not subscribed, you should get subscribed. Appreciate you greatly, and we'll get to that. But let's take a look at it this way, right? Like I said, obviously, I'm a huge fan of the short ones out there, but I'm also a big fan of like my Mark 12s. That's, plural. I'm a huge fan of the M16A4, 20-inch barrel, the Mark 12's 18-inch barrels. But yes, you're absolutely right that barrel length absolutely plays a part when it comes down to the application of the firearm. When we talk what most people, I think, are purchasing firearms for today, which is defense, we're probably not looking for anything much longer than 16 inches at all. And I think the reason most people even go with a 16-inch gun is because that is the legal limit before you start getting into either pinning and welding territory, which for those of you that don't know, you can have a muzzle device pinned and welded to the barrel, which the ATF has classified as one solid piece because now it's pinned and welded to the barrel. It's not being removed via wrench or anything like that. So they look at that as an extension of the barrel. So you can have something like a 13.9-inch barrel, like a 14.5-inch barrel. As long as the muzzle device is long enough to get you over that 16-inch mark, you're not playing in NFA territory. You don't have a short-barreled rifle. You have a standard rifle that you can do whatever you want to, right? So, when I say do anything you want to legally, right? So, take a look at, again, the FAL behind me. That's a 14.5-inch barrel, but the muzzle device is pinned and welded, getting me right to that 16-inch mark. Same thing with the M4A1. Let me hide the comment. And thank you, too, for the super chats. I'll be getting to them here in just a moment. Like I said, I'm going to try to get to as many comments as possible in tonight's shorter live stream. And those super chats are greatly appreciated. You guys are supporting the channel and everything we're doing here. And, of course, they show up nice, bright, and shiny. So I don't miss them. So thank you. Sometimes I do, though. And then you guys remind me. So thank you. But let's go ahead and... Where'd it go? Hello? Hide. There it is. So 14.5-inch. I can back up some so it's in a little bit more... Right? So 14.5-inch gun, pinned and weld Huxworks muzzle device. So I can take my Huxworks silencer, throw it on there. Now I've got a suppressed 14.5-inch gun, which is great because, like I've said, we're not playing in that NFA territory. No extra legal BS we have to play into, which hopefully GOA, Gun Owners of America, is successful at, well, under the Big Beautiful Lawsuit, with the Big Beautiful Lawsuit, and completely dismantling the National Firearms Act, which most of us, I do believe, know that's the reason why we have these arbitrary, screwed up laws that we currently have about barrel length and all that type of stuff. So what are you going to do? But I think most people are probably opting for a 16-inch rifle because that is the shortest that we can get. I think 16 inches is actually a pretty solid barrel length at the end of the day because you're still getting pretty solid velocity with the 5.56 cartridge. I mean, just to talk a little bit about difference of velocity out of something like one of my 10.3-inch Mark 18s, which is as short as I would go for the 5.56, versus that of like the M16A4, which is a 20-inch barrel. You're talking 3,000 feet per second plus of the 55 grain M193 projectile, which is extremely common. And I probably what most people use at the range is a 55 grain 5.56 or 223, right? That same cartridge out of the shorter 10.3-inch barrel is coming in, I think, at the low end of like 2,400 feet per second, which is significant. Why that matters. Of course, a faster moving projectile will hold its trajectory longer and be a little bit more accurate downrange. You don't have to adjust so greatly if you're engaging a target. Let's just make it as easy as 300 yards. Not impossible, not really even that difficult to do with the Mark 18, but you're going to have a better terminal ballistics from that same cartridge out of a longer barrel. Why is that? Those gases are staying in contact and propelling that projectile for a longer period of time through a longer barrel versus a shorter barrel. Makes sense? Makes sense. I think most of us in the chat probably know that. But if you have questions or anything like that, feel free to drop them in the chat. This community here is awesome. These guys and gals are great because a lot of people will answer questions before I even get to them because, as most of you know, it takes me a little bit of time to get through the comments. So there you go. But with all of that, I'm, like I said, a huge fan of short barrels. I think John Crump is too. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Always good to see you, man. And, April Fools if you think I'm not a fan. But let's head on over here. Speaking of John Crump, thank you, bro. He says, you're such a nerd, bro. John and I have met multiple times. In fact, man, I need to get you on one of the streams here coming up, streams and podcasts. And for all my Patreon members that are 50 cal tier members, we'll get you on one of the briefing rooms. I think would be a lot of fun too. So John Crump, everybody, man, keeps us up to date on all the shenanigans that are happening with the Second Amendment. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Thank you for being here. It means a lot, man. Tanner, Sitterman 15. He just bought a 3D printer. Any firearm related items that would be cool or helpful to print with it? I could hit up my buddy over PSR, print, shoot, repeat. I think he might have some ideas. If you haven't thought about like a bong Glock, that could be something you could try out. So, there's all sorts of things out there that you can try. And 3D printers, that's something else too that GOA has made very, very obvious or very well known, is that we look at 3D printers as being protected under the First Amendment. And if you want to make gun parts with your 3D printer, that in our book is protected under not only just the First Amendment, but the Second Amendment as well. So, 3D printer go burr or whatever, there you have it. Barefoot Gardener, I was thinking about how ridiculous the NFA is. Looking at my home defense shotgun, could you put a brace on a Shockwave 990? Then you start playing with any other weapon territory. Yeah, I have to get back to you on that. I know SBRs, I know SBSs, but when it comes to like AOW and what is it, like 20, how many inches? It's longer than that. What's the overall length? And then you can start playing with that. It's more convoluted than it needs to be because it shouldn't exist. I know that's like not the most logical way of going about it, I guess you could call it, but it's the most correct way. It is the correct way of going about it, is that these laws, rules especially, shouldn't exist. And barrel length at the end of the day should be up to, again, us to decide what we deem necessary or effective for whatever its role might be for defensive, offensive, if you so choose. That could be hunting, of course. Yeah. So, and it even depends on what you're hunting out of. Like, the list goes on. And by the way, if you wanted a live demonstration of just what significant amount of velocity you could lose or gain based on barrel length, I haven't dropped that video yet. I forgot. That's next week. I actually did a video on the Henry mare's leg, and I did a comparison between the 4-inch. It's not, it's just off camera. The 4-inch big boy revolver chambered in 357-38 special, and the mare's leg, which has a 12.9 inch. And I shot the Federal American Eagle 357 through it, and impressive numbers actually from both. And I think you guys will see come Sunday that information. So we're going to be talking a lot about barrel lengths because obviously it's a huge topic. We are, again, at Gun Owners of America, we are looking to completely dismantle the National Firearms Act. We're looking at fighting at all sorts of anti-gun legislation that is all over the map. Obviously, Virginia is a hot topic right now. Rhode Island, Minnesota, there's all sorts of stuff happening right now. So yeah, bear with us. All right. Rustic Arms, good to see you, man. The NFA is unconstitutional and shop Rostic. Yes, sir. I think it's time for me to bring my Rostic out and do some more shooting with it and get some more content on it also, because it just keeps on ticking, man. It's a great rifle. So thank you. And Solo Gordo, shorties with the A5 buffer systems helps a good amount with slowing down the bulk carrier group, and in combination with flow through suppressors as well, from Mark 18 to Mark 12, they all get love from me, which is great advice. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. And the A5 buffer system is super cool. I'm definitely a fan of that. And super safeties, John Crump says. FRTs, I think that's something else too. My buddy Micah, I need to hit him up and be like, hey, how do you not make YouTube mad when you're posting this stuff? Obviously making it very clear that they are not full auto. So yeah, these are things I'm gonna have to figure out. But because obviously, I've got some things I want to show, talk about, educate on, stuff like that. So yeah. Jim Morrison's bathtub. The NFA should be repealed and every politician who supports it should be impeached for treason, but I prefer longer barrels because I think the extra range is worth the extra awkwardness in CQB. In 2011, obviously, Marines were room clearing with M16, 20-inch M16s long before 2011. But I remember, when I was going through my training with the Marines and everything, that's, what we were doing. And it was fun. And, we had them. And that's what we would do. And then, even with the ACOG, which, if you don't know, is a 4 times magnified optic, 4 power, fixed. There's no variable, no variation there. So you can't go to a 1X for close quarters or anything. And the way we looked at it was, well, you got a 30-round mag. Look over your sights and pull the trigger until it's no longer a threat. And that's pretty much what we were taught. So, so that's all there is to it, And it worked fine, especially for room clearing. It's point shooting most of the time anyway. You're not going to be, looking for perfect sight alignment in that regard. So, get her done or some shit. Let's see here. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat here. And one of them, this is actually pretty interesting, what Cody is talking about. And he's saying, hey, Clint, what are your thoughts on the MCD suppressor from Strategic Sciences? I'm really liking what I've seen so far, but it also seems like black magic. So if you guys aren't familiar with this suppressor, it's they're pretty much advertising it as like a 0 signature suppressor that is a flash hider suppressor combo, which doesn't sound abnormal because, just looking back here, there's a QD muzzle device, There's a QD muzzle device for Surefire. There's a QD muzzle device for Huxworks. So it's not uncommon, but the way this attaches, clips on, and most noticeably the way it looks. Look up Strategic Sciences MCD suppressor. I think you guys will be pretty impressed. My thoughts on it are, like you said, black magic craziness, very cool. This could be the very essence of the future of suppressor technology, but it looks very weird. So we'll see. We'll see what's to come and how it does, over time, and the longevity, how long these suppressors can last and whatnot. So yeah, we'll see, I guess. All right. Garen's coming in with the top comment tonight. The ATF are all poopy faces. No April Fools there. That's absolutely for sure. Funky Town says he's got a 16-inch and a 10.3-inch, and that I think's solid. 16-inch, like I said, 16-inch rifles I think are fantastic. Let's not sleep on them. I think that's actually a great barrel length for both maneuverability and, of course, that velocity and accuracy that a lot of people look for. So even though that's kind of the standard, because that's as short as you can go before you start playing with, the pin and weld territory and the NFA territory, I really don't think it's a bad barrel length whatsoever. I mean, I've got plenty of 16-inch rifles for those reasons. So there you go. All right. Let's see here. My 16-inch barrel with my new suppressor puts me right under 23 inches. At least you're suppressed and everything at that point. So it's really not, like I said, it's really not that bad. Just the best thing I can say, the best advice I can give when it comes to your firearm is to train and practice with it. It might sound crazy. Don't care. If this is something that, you're passionate about, if this is something you truly want to be effective and efficient with, practice clearing your house. 20-inch barrel, whatever. I mean, obviously do this with a dry gun, but you can find out really quick how convenient something like a short barrel is versus a long barrel. Just, again, try to, pie a door, right? And you'll find out really quick, like, yeah, this is kind of nice. And, the arguments too for having a shorter barrel, a sling, even for home defense, is somebody could grab your muzzle, somebody could grab your I mean, again, if you're cleaning your house with an M16 and your muzzle is breaking that threshold, people are gonna, in a combat environment, whatever, somebody's obviously gonna see that muzzle and know somebody's coming in, all these different things. It's like most likely they already know you're there anyway because of all the noise you're making, because nobody's quiet during these things. And it's all kind of silly and funny in my mind, but I like to have a shorter barrel for confined spaces for obvious reasons, and that's really what it comes down to. Let's see here. Crunchy Taco is saying universally of most cartridges, 16 inches is the most effective barrel length of short. I like I said, I think it's probably the perfect compromise at the end of the day. 16 inches is short enough for maneuverability, long enough where you're not playing with legal territory, and you still have a very effective 5.56 cartridge. So there you go. Safely strapped. Were you the one that commented this on the video too? that my wife says my short barrel is long enough. It's good to have a supportive wife. That's all there is to it. Oh man. Let's see here. Crunchy Taco wants to know, or Tanner, I'm trying to find a printer that can do a 14.5 by 14.5 project. I like it. You're putting all these devices on it, making it 16 inches long. Aren't you destroying the close quarters reasons you have short build rifle or PCC in the first place? So understand this. No. In a sense, I guess you can say it's a compromise at the end of the day, because the device I'm putting on there is to actually make it so I'm more effective within close quarters. Of course, we're talking about a silencer here. If you've ever shot a short barrel in a confined space, especially a 5.56, that concussion, the sound, the blast, whatever you want to call it, all of it is very disorienting. And yeah, it's not only disorienting to you, it, can be disorienting to a threat so many ever feet, yards away. The thing is, though, I've been in confined spaces. I mean, most of us have been in an indoor range, concrete walls, gunshots going off, even wearing two sets of ear protection, those little foamies in ear and over ear. Sometimes it can be rattling. I despise indoor ranges personally. Um, I consider me spoiled. I'm spoiled. I unless I have like a private bay or something like that, I do not care to go to an indoor range. It's obnoxious. I can typically only spend about maybe, you know, 30 minutes at a time in an active bay before all of that, just concussion, within a confined space, starts to really irritate my tinnitus and everything. And then I just want to get out because the ringing in my ears, even with two sets of ear protection, gets to the point where it's nauseating almost. So it's like, nah, man, if everybody's shooting with suppressors, great, because it reduces all of the signature, right? Again, flash, but obviously the one that everybody focuses on is sound, without realizing how significant flash is too. But topic for a different day. So, answer to your question is overall 10.3 inch with a let's just call it 6-inch suppressor gets me right to that 16-inch mark, which is again the typical length for most rifles out there. However, the benefit in this case is that I've got a suppressor on it versus an unsuppressed 16-inch, which is still very loud and concussive. Not as loud and concussive as a short barreled, but you get my point now. Adding a suppressor on it versus no suppressor at the same barrel length. Now we're there. Cool. Continuing on there. Magged Up Mafia, love you. That's a shout out to everybody here right now. JC, appreciate it, man. Let's see here. Oh yeah, good luck in Virginia, John. That's for sure. And we already know John Crump's gonna be fighting it 100%. 308 dominance, Garen says. You know, there's something about, we talk about concussive forces and sound and blast. A shorty 308, like rough, dude. I mean, I've had, the teeth chatter kind of thing from just, 16-inch scars, and I've shot short barreled scars, and I'm just like, this is not fun, that's, yeah. So that's when I typically go for like a blast deflector. And because a lot of suppressors can't handle short SBRs or short 308. And that's when I'm just like, you know what? Just direct all that sound and everything away from me. And that's typically when I just go with a blast deflector or something like that. Like I just don't care anymore. So yeah, caliber definitely matters when talking about barrel length 100%, so there you go. Let's see, Tanner. So Jay is saying, Tanner, you should 3D print some light pressure pad mounts, M-LOK and pick rail. There you go. Crunchy's calling out Rostic in the house. Ross saying, what up, chat? Good to see you guys. Short barreled rifles, short barreled shotguns need to go away. I don't think you mean actual SBRs, SBSs, but you're just saying the NFA, right? Right? Or is this an April Fool's joke? And I think the Shockwave is mentioned specifically in the pistol brace file. That's what I think you meant to say, Peter. Good to see you, Peter. Thanks for being here, bro. Thanks for being a Patreon 50 cal tier member. Good to see you, man. We've got some, by the way, for those of you that aren't keeping up with it, you might, I guess we haven't really announced this too, but we've got some cool guests lined up for the next couple of briefing rooms. We'll get you guys informed about those coming soon. All right. And barrel length, Garen is saying barrel length is just a number. It's an important number though. It's definitely an important one. Cheers, Cowboy Clint. Man, it is funny if I'm outside, which is a lot of the time, and you were to pull up to my house, it's legitimately me with my Stetson pinch front or my resistol, one of my resistols, and looking like this, and either wheelbarrow full of crap that I've just mucked out of a horse stall, or on a Kubota tractor full of crap that I just mucked out of a horse stall. So that's a good time. But we're up here in mud season right now, so that's not fun. Yeah. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Eric, just found your channel. Glad to see you back on the tube. Look forward to the future videos. Appreciate it, man. And there's a lot of previous content from the past 2 years now. When I started the channel, I started it almost immediately after leaving Classic, and so appreciate you being here. Also, thank you. And what's this now? They're making FRTs for a Beretta M9s, 92s, I assume also. Okay. What's the best ammo for a short-barreled rifle like the Honey Badger 5.56? Personally, I like the ballistics. Out of just about actually any gun, the 77 grain open tip match. You can do the Black Hills Mark 262, but quite frankly, I think the IMI Razor Core I have a stockpile of that stuff as like my go-to crap has hit the fan ammunition. That's what I'm loading up in my 20-inch guns, my 18-inch guns, my 10.3-inch guns, my 14.5-inch guns, my 16-inch guns, my 13.9-inch gun. So that's what's getting loaded up. That's if I'm carrying one of those guns. If it's a neighbor that didn't adequately prepare and they are needing a gun, they're getting the Snickel Fritz. All right, I'm not gonna leave them hanging. They're gonna have plenty of ammo, but it's just gonna be 55 grain M193, and I don't know, my IWI Zion. Or did y'all know, by the way, I got a new AR. I'm excited to try out because it came from a company, 16-inch AR, because it came from a company I wasn't expecting it to come from. Chat, light it up really quick. See if you can guess who started making ARs. Apparently they were announced at SHOT Show. I completely missed it, but I was only there for 2 days. Complete ambidextrous AR. It looks like a shovel nose LMT. It's kind of crazy. But it's coming in for like 1,300 MSRP. Not something I think we all saw coming from this one company. We'll talk about it here in just a moment. But yeah, so that was the answer to the question earlier about but in a room do you aim? I don't. Room in, pointing, shooting, exactly. And yeah, there you go. So no. For training, sure, that's fine. But even then, it's the entire mindset of train how you fight, right? And if you haven't done like frangible ammunition, room clearing kind of thing, or even with airsoft, like 100%, just learning, again, muscle memory and getting an idea about muzzle alignment while looking over the sights and where your shot placement might be. This is when things like with the cool fire trainer systems, things like that allow you to see a point of impact, whether it be like a laser or something like that shows you a point of impact, and you're moving quickly, you can kind of start to learn like, I was really low on that. That's what that feels like. That's what that looks like. That's what, again, if that's important to you at the end of the day, right? So yeah. Let's see here. Let's be real. The only person that doesn't have one is because they're like 3,000. Oh, are we talking about that suppressor again? Methinks? I think so. Let's see here. Rostic, here we go again. Rostic likes I haven't read the comment yet. I just saw that it was a super chat. Put it up on the screen. Rostic likes to ruffle my feathers sometimes. He knows what buttons to push. All right, let's see what he says. Unpopular opinion. Flow-through suppressors are garbage. Civilians need hearing protection, and Flow can suck at that. My Hux 36 Flow TI is loud. Okay. All right. Let's go there, right? Because first of all, opinions in this case matter. They matter significantly. And I'm going to tell you why. Because flow-through suppressors, I do like at the end of the day, but he's not wrong. Rostic Arms is absolutely correct here that flow-through suppressors have louder signature both in flash and sound, more signature. And that's just the nature of the beast. Now, some companies are getting very good at minimalizing both sound and flash signature through flow-through type designs, or what other companies are calling pass-through, because Huxworks patented flow-through. So I think the technology is definitely getting better, right? And that's something we're going to see. But you take a look at like the Warhorse, the reputable Surefire RC2, which ironically is currently off camera on my 13.9 inch Pendon Weld Blackout Defense Quantum DTL rifle, which just dropped that video on it. Again, even in this video, I when I say this video, I'm referring to the video that I had today, published today, which again, if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It just came out, earlier this morning. But the RC2, which is not a reduced back pressure can, it's not a flow-through silencer or anything like that. It's a great suppressor. And within those couple of words, I use 3 different identifiers for suppressors: can, silencer, suppressor. I use them interchangeably, obviously. It really upsets a lot of people if I call a silencer a suppressor or a suppressor a silencer. There's more important things to argue about. Get your panties out of a wad. All right. That's all there is to it. So, but I don't disagree with Rostic, but also I love flow through cans. And coming back to you, scrimps, I do use Hux cans quite a bit, actually, like a lot of bit. So I do, on the wall right now, there's the Huxworks on my signature series, and up there for the SIG is the CMMG Zeroed can, which is not a flow-through can, right? Pass-through, flow-through, vented, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Let me get back over here. Crunchy saying, Ross, this is going to sound super wrong, but what's the decibel difference between a polonium and a hydrogen? I don't know that answer right off the top of my head. So there you go. Also, yes, 100%. Jessica Simp, 4459. Good to see you, man. A 249S FRT would be pretty dope. I feel like there's a lot there. Imagine this. The 249S had to be re-engineered to essentially, or the 249 had to be re-engineered to run reliably semi-auto only. Okay. Now to make it run reliably with an FRT, you would kind of have to almost backwards design it. Maybe. If somebody does it and it works very well, reliably, high round count kind of thing, awesome. It's going to be somebody that knows that stuff a better than me. That's all there is to it, all right? So, Rostic said, Hux cans are so loud, which is crazy. I feel like I got bamboozled. Again, it really depends on what you're shooting, all of it. So, again, flow through cans are naturally louder, but I run a lot of flow through. Run a lot of Huxworks. I want more Huxworks cans. I like them. I like that they're shorter and lighter. Everything's a compromise, right? Like I talked about with the RC2, an absolute tank of a suppressor. Great flash signature, great sound signature as far as being like reduced, but it's heavy and you've got more wear and tear on your parts because you've got more back pressure, things like that. You got more gas coming back into the system. So now you have to change more parts internally to try to, make up for that, offset that. So you can go for a heavier buffer. You could go for adjustable gas blocks. You could go for adjustable bolt carrier groups. You can do all of these different things at the end of the day to try to offset that increased back pressure, increased gases back into the system. The compromise is you get something flow through. Yes, it's louder. Yes, it's got a little bit more flash to it, but you're still getting the benefit of having a suppressor without having to do all of the other things to try to minimize that increased back pressure. Especially if you've got it on something like a Mark 18, which already has a pretty large gas port, which is made to run wide open with more gases for reliability. Like there's no doubt whatsoever that these shorty ARs are reliable guns because they have these enlarged gas ports, because they're getting more gases back into the system. Now you throw a suppressor on it, it's giving even more gas into the system. So flow throughs on short barrels, I like. Traditional suppressors on longer guns, I like. Even though now you have the weight argument, but whatever. We can go back and forth about this all day long. Yes. Do I know 7.62 by 39 is like fantastic caliber for shorter barrels because it's originally intended to be a powerful SMG cartridge and the AK originally meant to be used as an SMG. That's very interesting, but one thing I'm really excited about is hopefully once they get a little bit more inventory, one of those IWI Galil Gen 1 13-inch 7.62 by 39 aces. Yeah, I'm getting one. I don't care. I'm getting one. That's just going to be, I'm just waiting for more inventory. They still have them up. It's still on their website. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, look up IWI Galil Ace 7.62 by 39 13-inch. It's a mouthful. I know, but pull it up. You won't regret it. All right. That's just all I'm going to say about that. By the way, I'm going to drop something, a link in the chat for everybody as well, just so you guys can see this promo. I've partnered with veteran-owned company, business, Fanathem. Check it out. I think you guys might like what you see. Just throwing that out there, all right? If you didn't watch today's video, which, you totally should have, Are Short Barrels Overrated is what I titled it. So go check that out, all right? Let's see here. Jim Morrison's bathtub. That always cracks me up. I just got into the woods in the National Forest in New Hampshire to shoot. Indoor ranges suck and forests are free and you don't have to run the risk of getting an RSO power trip. Yes, but be careful. A lot of states don't allow shooting on public lands, stuff like that. You got to be careful about all of that. So y'all stay up to date with, local laws and all that, just so, you don't get into a little bit of trouble there. All right. Let's see here. Outlaw. What's up, Clint? I almost missed you. Been on Trump and then speak the truth for the past hour. Very, very cool. Nice, man. Well, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. And we've got Crunchy Taco. I'm used to working in a chemically rich environment on a daily basis. I'll get cancer from it someday, but I value my hearing more. Very good. Let's see here. Back pressure beats loud ass suppressors any day. Worth every penny when it's set up correctly. Worth is subjective though, like saying best. Yeah, 100% there. All right. Let's see here. We've got uh oh, Alicia, good to see you. Savage. So yeah, dude. I hope you're all doing well. You guys are awesome to work with. Oh man, that is so cool. So um I learned quite a bit from Savage Doll here when we were out at Taryn's range, and we were doing some shooting. She was showing like the quad load of shotguns and things like that. Super cool that you're here. Thanks for saying hey. I really appreciate that. And Kelson, I love to see you again and do some more shooting together. So if you're ever out, East Coast or anything, let us know. And yeah, let's go do some shooting, man. I'm all about it. So that'd be a lot of fun. Thank you again for being here. Let's see here. Get back to what Jessica Simp is saying. A regular suppressor sounds more like a slap sound than being like Hollywood quiet, unless it's a well rod or a 22 caliber. A well rod is a funny looking gun, made popular in World War II. Single shot, very quiet. And there are the slap sound that you're talking about. It's usually something more like a that supersonic crack coupled by the suppressor sound. And it's again those cooling hot gases hitting the cool air and having that reaction. And that's usually what that initial boom is that you get when you pull the trigger on a gun, which is natural. And then you slow those hot escaping gases in a muffler, or in this case a silencer or a suppressor or a can, whatever the hell you want to call it, and it slows those hot gases, or I should say increases the time in which those gases can cool and not be so loud, right? So fun times, man. Fun times. Yeah, good to see you too. And miss you guys, man. We miss you. We hope you moved to Idaho. Oh, very cool. So you are very close to some really good friends of ours. Lindsay, of course, Baby Yoda, and her husband Juan, and quite a few other people we got out there. So great to see you. Thank you again for tuning in. Let's see here. How about a rifle with a 24-inch barrel and a 7-inch long suppressor? Max velocity, lowest decibel rating. Yeah, actually, if you guys haven't, I have suppressed an M16A4 20-inch barrel. And guys, long barrels suppressed are awesome. If you haven't shot, I've got, a 20-inch 308 that, my bolt action, the Remington 700 with the Wooks chassis. I put out a video on that like a while ago. So yeah, that one's a lot of fun. I love long barrels with suppressors because you got more of that powder burn. You've got, again, everything that he's talking about here. You got the velocity. It's a quieter shooting experience, especially again on a platform that isn't semi-auto. It's a good time. Are the charging handles with ports / vented worth it? Actually, funny you should say that, because I think I had, and I'm gonna have to find it all over again. One of my favorite charging handles. I thought I had it here on my desk somewhere, because I took it out to clean it, and now I can't find it. How do I do this? If you guys haven't noticed, I've obviously cleaned up the background a little bit. I'm doing a little bit of reorganizing and everything. And the ADHD kicks in. I pick something up, I put it down. I forgot where I put it down. But anyway, my favorite charging handle to use while suppressed is actually the Geisley super charging handle. Yeah, I think that's right. It's just their super. I feel like there was something more to it than just super, but I really like those. When we did the charging handle test when I was with Classic, we found that the super expensive, like, don't get me wrong, I think Radian makes a great charging handle, but those vented charging handles, the PRI gas buster. We found those to be pretty overrated. We did get quite a bit of gas still back into the face, things like that. But we did find that the Geisleys performed very well, and that's usually what I go with. Other charging handles that I have found that worked well, obviously, like the standard Radian, I like a lot. You know, the I don't mind like the DD charging handles. What are they called again? I'm not on camera, right? But ironically, have one. Well, I can't remember what it's called, but whatever the Dana Defense charging handle is, just their standard ambi charging handle, I thought was pretty good, and so I like those. They're not bad for gas busting and whatnot. LMT, yeah, LMT makes a good one also. And ADHD is real. I'm sure the rest of your gun room looks like mine. Yep, yep, yeah. If you're to pan a little to the right, pan a little to the left, you know how you guys are oriented. Yeah, it's. I need more wall space. Let's see here. I saw somebody ask a question. Yes, about the DSA SA58s, FALs holding up. Are you referring to the Rody that's behind me, or my 18-inch, or my 14.5-inch with this? Well, yeah, I got different ones. So how are they all holding up? Great, and I love them, and they're a good time. So, by the way, Alicia, Jessica Simp says Idaho is best for potatoes. Oh man, you guys crack me up over here. But yeah, getting back to you, Barefoot Gardener, that's kind of where we're at with the different charging handles, so on and so forth. All right. Let's keep on keeping on over here. Let me get back down. Knight's Armament makes awesome charging handles that they do. Let's come back over here. Yeah, so we got to LMTs also really well. That is true. Classic has the new female to replace Katie, and it's Eliza. I think I saw that. I haven't met Eliza, not that I know of. But hey, you know, if they're doing well, good. I saw that Jason made it out to Beretta, which was really cool, out in Italy. So that was really cool. I won't hold that against Beretta for not getting an invite, but you know, it's fine. It's cool. Whatever, you know. I'm not salty about it, Beretta, at all. Just going to go sell my 1301 and my M9A3 and my GTS and never talk to them again. All right. That's all there's to it. Let's see here. Clint looks like he's about to go Amish. He got the beard and the horses. It's called veteran status. No longer actively serving status is what it's at, you know? So there you go. Like this comment here from Zach. Overhyped? No. Overregulated? Yes, and you are 100% sure about that. All right. And yes, I would have to cut the mustache to go full Amish, and that is not at all what I plan on doing. Ironically, I made that joke to Kelsey here just a little bit. The 18-inch 308. Yeah, it's doing really well. I love that gun, man. It is so that one's the fixed stock variant, and 18-inch, as you already know, and yeah, I love that. Somebody asked, I can't remember if it was actually a comment on the video or in a live stream, if I can still see the iron sights with the pressure pad at the 12 o'clock position, and the answer is no. You know, no, you cannot. So when if I have to remove the optic because the optics failed me, it's broken, whatever, I would also have to remove the pressure pad to be able to pick up my iron sights. All right. Let's see here really quick. What in the world happened? Oh, here we go. Yeah. So, Kelsey's saying, hey, you know, don't forget to mention, as I've already talked a little bit about earlier here, just before we hop off, that yes, on the Patreon, we're doing all sorts of cool stuff over there. We've got Man, I'm trying to do it about, twice a month at least. Zoom calls. So imagine a live stream like this, but we're actually all in a Zoom call together, chatting, hanging out. And those are exclusive. Those are not going anywhere else except on Patreon, maybe a couple of clips for promotion and whatnot. But let's just say we're hanging out, we're sipping, talking guns, showing off guns, and whatever else, you want to do on a Zoom call. And usually I will have, or not usually, but I will have a special guest on. And, first guest was Alec from Classic, the OG Alec, of course. We sat there and reminisced for a bit, talked guns and what he's up to now. We had Zach, Tactical Advisor, on. We had Chaser McNuggets on. Chase, he's absolutely hilarious. If you don't know who Chaser McNuggets is, look him up on Instagram. He gives you the comedic element, the comedic way to present current events that aren't so comedic. And he does it so well. So good. Absolutely love it. And a great guy. Next up is Reliant Fitness, because obviously this is something I'm wanting to get into, as more mo better fitness and things like that. So, and of course I want to offer, that's just one aspect of the Patreon 50 cal tier. Of course, we got the WhatsApp chat that we're pretty much active in every single day, talking a little bit about everything. I was messaging actually in there today to the WhatsApp group, getting a little bit of feedback about a strategy about going forward with live streams, video, all that type of stuff, because I am investing a whole lot more time into this. So you guys can expect actually now, like, actually more content. I kind of been saying that for about a year, and we're going to be kicking it up. So we're really excited about that. In addition to all of that too, my wife and I are starting what we're calling Marser, which is Gaelic for live free. It's going to be Marser Farm and Homestead. So this is something that we're going to be giving back to the community with. We're really excited about it because we want something I've talked about before on this channel. I know we're getting a little bit off topic when it comes to barrel lengths, but I can make this go full circle. I'm sure I can. But what we're looking to do is essentially offer organic produce, eggs, things like that. Maybe one day we'll get into the raw milk game too, but all of that to our local community, because I've always talked about how important it is to get active and involved with your community. And so yeah, I'm happy to be starting that up and offering this place, up in a sense, so people can learn, be educated, relax. Even, like, guys, we're looking at getting goats. Like, if people want to come over here and do some like goat yoga or something, get a couple of selfies, bring the kids, have at it, right? Get archery on what am I trying to say? Property. Surprised I actually don't have that set up yet, but whatever. We're getting there. So yeah, we've got a lot to come with what we're calling Marcer. So you guys will be hearing about that. Health and wellness groups we're getting involved with. So there's a lot happening here that just goes above and beyond gun content. So there you go, man. That's what it's all about, right? So let's see here. Talking about different triggers. Yeah, so run for office. Yeah, that was I saw somebody make this right here. Run for, he seems like a free man at peace. Why would you want to ruin that? I look at my buddy Brandon, and he's run for Congress. He won in the primary this time around, and he's not married, doesn't have kids. He's authentically 100% himself, and I love that. And they can try to attack him and all that, and call him a Nazi, call him out for this or that and the other, and he lets it roll off his back and just, whatever. And the way I look at it now is if I was single and younger, maybe, but at this point, with I I don't see a political run in my future, if I'm being quite frank with all of you here. And unless there's like a serious calling, like it's presented to me, like it slaps me across the face, like this needs to happen. Um, I don't foresee it. I will continue, obviously, using my platform to vocalize how significant our freedoms are. I will continue to be an activist. That's right, a Second Amendment activist, a pro individual liberty activist, a smaller government activist, a leave me the hell alone activist. I will continue to use my platform for that, right? That's because I think I speak for a majority of American people when I say we want smaller government, even though a lot of people I think don't recognize they want smaller government. They do. I think New York City is getting a pretty significant taste of that. Then again, I would think also too that they would have learned by now, but what are you gonna do? So I what I want to do is grow what my wife and I are building on our little property, and I want to get more in touch with my local community. I want to, um, I don't know, I want to give animals a good life that we've got, and yeah, and I want to keep talking with you guys and hanging out and shooting guns, man, because that's what I enjoy. So, you know, that's where we're at with that. All right. Let's see here. Thank you for the super chat, Midnight Hunter. Horse feed money. Good work. Happy trails. Thank you. As we just bought 3 bags of horse feed today. So thank you. I appreciate that. The $5 definitely helps. Thank you, Midnight Hunter. I honestly appreciate every last one of you that are monthly members here on YouTube, that are signing up to be paying members on Patreon, and of course all the super chats and everything. You guys are freaking awesome. So thank you. And it's Clint looks like he's running for office in Canada. Denim Dan. I'm wearing the denim jeans also, dude. I've got my Canadian tuxedo on. We ready? I left my denim jacket upstairs though, so sorry about that. All right. So there you go. And it's hanging well, man. It's hanging good. There's this we get we're talking a lot about barrel lengths here tonight, so maybe we shouldn't talk about how it's hanging. Let's see here. Brendan Herm is almost 2 years older than me. He's born in November of 95. I'm born in April of 97. My little sister is older than Brandon Herrera. I shouldn't have done that, because now all you're going to see is all the gray. You know what? I think it's time to call it a night, guys. I think we're pretty much there. Thanks for that, Jessica Simp. I needed that reality check. So let's just go ahead and throw this in there. 12.5-inch 5.56 with mid-length gas is crispy. 100%. Love that. 12.5 inch. 12.5 mid-length. I think that's what my ADM UIC is. Am I wrong, chat? I'm actually not too sure. But yeah, I love that 12.5. Yeah, I love that. So sorry to ask this again, but the PSA Mark 12, worth it? Really want a Mark 12. I'll tell you right now, man, if you're balling on a budget and you want a Mark 12, get the PSA Mark 12. Get the Saber Mark 12. I've got it sitting right there. It's got the PRI accessories. The trigger feels good. The A2 stock feels cheap. I'll be honest, but it's an A2 stock, so who really gives a shit? It's got the Allen Engineering AEM5 can on it as it sits right now. With mine, I purchased the extended rail from PRI and installed it without removing the rail. You know how hard that was? But a little bit of patience. You'll get it. If that's what you want to do, though, you might not even care to do that. But honestly, I really like it. I like how it shoots. I like how it feels. I do not think you're going to be upset whatsoever. So, Tanner's saying, can't believe he's 5 years younger than us, Clint. I know, man. I know. I'm proud of the man. I am absolutely proud of him. So, there you go. Can I do a M1A suppressed build video one day? Who is it that's got their M1A that I want that they submitted during one of their Buster builds? I can't remember. But yeah. Um the Amish Ayatollah. Well, all right, now for sure, 100%. I'm leaving it off on this one because he asked, "Were we not allowed to talk about PSA when you were at Classic?" I'll put it this way: when I was at Classic Firearms, was I ever seen at a Palmetto State Armory booth at SHOT Show or the NRA annual meet or whatever else it might be? Yes, I know the guys. I'm friends with Cameron over there. But let's be real. Classic Firearms is a business. Brownells, Midway, Palmetto State Armory, every other one of them that you can think of that sells guns are competitors. You can put two and two together. I'll be honest, there were definitely talks about like, look, we like there's no doubt that Palmetto State Armory is a force to be reckoned with within this industry. Even on the politics side, like they're always updating. They are allies of ours. They're plaintiffs with us, and in what we're doing. And so it's like I'm a fan of Palmetto State Armory. I'll say it. I'll say it right now. I know Rob over at Monadnock Firearms is like he just his sixth sense went off and he's just like Clint said something. I he's not allowed to shoot here anymore. But yeah, so um but yeah, I like PSA, man. I think they're doing good stuff and they really are for their customers and everything. So there you go. Also not sponsored, not paid by PSA. Just wanted to throw that out there. Okay. All right. But yeah, we can pretty much leave it off there. Jake missed some notification. All good, man. There's always next time. You can watch this back. All right. So, but thank you for being here. Appreciate that. And Classic is a supplier, but not a manufacturer per se. So I never understood the NDA of the whole thing. It's just business. They didn't want to advertise for a competitor. Look at it that way, right? So that's all there is to it. And yeah, so we'll leave it off there, guys. Thank you again for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. And again, short barrels, yeah, I think they obviously have a place. I'm obviously a fan of them. There's a few of them behind me. And with that, guys, if you haven't watched today's video about short barrels being overrated, check it out. There's some pretty cool things that are happening there that I don't think you want to miss. In case you missed out, kind of thing. God bless you guys. We'll see you on the next one.